Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Andy, and this is Before You Call a Contractor. Today we're going to be installing a Bidet toilet seat. I installed my first one for myself about 5 years ago. I'd installed them for a few customers and was just curious, and honestly I have them on all my toilets now and we really like them. The first one I did buy, which like I said was 5 years ago, it finally cracked. I think it's because the one we have has a heated seat and we pretty much just leave the seat heat on all the time. And it cracked, but I purchased the same one again because we've had good luck with it, and this is the one that I bought. It's a ZMJH, says your first bidet. There's your controller right there on the side. But I'll take you step by step through this install, which is really not that complicated. Just in case you want to do something like this for yourselves. First thing obviously I did was remove the old toilet seat. And you're probably wondering why I'm not working with gloves. I know my toilet is perfectly clean, cleaned up real good. Anytime I'm working at a customer's house and I'm working on the toilet, I'm always wearing gloves. I don't know how well other people keep their toilets clean, but we keep ours pretty clean. Here's the first step you got to do. You're going to have to turn off the water supply and disconnect it. Here's the water supply. Turn it off. You just do a quarter turn clockwise, and that turns the water off. Next step we're going to do is we're going to disconnect it from here. But before you do that, I strongly recommend putting down some rags or towels because even though the water's turned off, there will still be a little bit of water leakage. As you can see, I put down a couple of rags. Now these plumbing parts, they should be about hand tight. And you should be able to unscrew it without using a wrench. Unscrew that. See, there's that little bit of water I said was going to come out. That's about all this should be. I'd say put a bucket under here, but because of the valve, it's kind of hard to put a bucket under it. So that's why I always just use rags. So before we go any further, I feel we might as well prep our valve for the water. Obviously the water's going to come in here and go back up to your toilet, and this water's going to come out of here and go into the bidet. When I say prep it, you want to put some Teflon tape on the threads, and it came with Teflon tape. And just wrap it around the threads here a few times. The other thing that I like to do is, here's the water supply line. These just push in, but I like to push this one up, put it on before I put it in there so I don't have to mess with it once it's in there. And it came with a little black mark on there so you can see where it's supposed to go. Okay, for this particular one, the water supply is on the left side of the toilet and the duvet plug-in's on the right side. So we're in the hose behind the toilet. Make sure there's a washer in here, even though you did put some tape on it. And you just screw this in right where you took the other valve off. Now I recommend when you're doing this, when you go to get the final tightness of it, which by the way, this did come with its own wrench, do this, but take the top of your toilet tank off and hold the flush valve in place so you don't loosen it up. And you don't have to go crazy tight with this. Just maybe a quarter of a turn past where it was snug. And try to make sure you don't pinch that water line against the wall. So you might want to hold it in place as well. And that's it. Now, we just put our water line back on. And this water line probably didn't need that Teflon tape because there is a rubber gasket in there. I use it because it came with it and it's not going to hurt anything. Again, get it hand tight, as tight as you can. You do not need to put pliers on there to go any tighter because you could crush the rubber gasket and that'll end up causing leaks rather than not leaks. Next thing we're going to do is install the bracket that holds the toilet seat in place. These come with these rubber inserts for here. You got to insert them, then pull them through. You got to kind of work them in there, but they'll go in. Usually you pull on the bottom side and push on the top side and wiggle a little bit. You can usually get them to come through. There we go. Now this bracket goes like this, and I looked at the directions to make sure you want this little opening right here. And since I've installed these before, I kind of know where it needs to be on my toilet. Every single one is different. Comes in nut and washer. By the way, the only real tools you need for this is a Phillips head screwdriver. Like I said, it came with its own wrench to tighten the water valve down. Now, I will tell you, with one like this, you do need electricity near your toilet, as I have right there. But if you want a duvet and you don't have electricity, they do make ones that are not heated, and the actual duvet actually goes under your existing toilet seat. And they're pretty inexpensive. You can pick them up for as little as $30 or $40. Again, it doesn't have the features of the water being heated, but they work just fine. So that's an option. I would say if you're going to do a bathroom remodel, I would have an outlet like that installed, just in case you ever decide you want to go down this route. Try to make sure you get this as straight as possible. And tighten it down good. If you don't tighten it down real good, your toilet seat will end up sliding around, and you certainly don't want that. Okay, and then from here, all you have to do is take the toilet seat, line it up, and slide it in. Okay, now we do need to hook up our water line. Here's our water line. You could cut this shorter if you wanted to, but I don't recommend doing that, because if you want to take the toilet seat off to clean it, you would need to disconnect the water line. If you leave the extra hose here, you can take the toilet seat off to clean it. And I usually just tuck it in behind the toilet. And again, push it on there until that black line is totally inserted. And from there, we just plug it in. It'll go through a little cycle and do its thing. In case you're wondering about what happens if you have children or something, you're afraid that they'll play with it and do the water. Unless somebody's sitting on the toilet seat, it won't work. It has a pressure sensor on it, so it won't turn it on anything unless there's somebody actually sitting on it. And from here, we just turn our water supply back on. A little quarter turn. Now, I would strongly recommend, I'm checking for leaks, but come back within the next 5 minutes and check for leaks on that water valve. Make sure you have everything snugged up the way it should be. Now, I've gone through and I've checked for leaks, and I don't have any leaks on my pipes, but I'll check them again in about an hour. I always recommend, even when I go to a customer's house to do a plumbing repair, say, check it at least for the next 24 hours, check it every now and again to make sure it's not leaking, because it is plumbing and things can go wrong. So from there, just make sure your toilet flushes. And again, the only way to test this is to sit on it and use it, so that'll leave up to you. And then from there, put your toilet lid back on and you're good to go. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again. Thanks. Bye.